Hello everyone, my name is Shane Stevenson, I'm the Country Director for Oxfam in Yemen. I'm here at the end of the Yemen pledging event where 70% of the 2.9 billion that was required to fund the humanitarian response plan was raised or pledged today. Let's hope that the donors come through with that money and come through with it quickly. There's 22 million people in Yemen requiring some sort of humanitarian assistance or protection. There's 8 million people on the brink of famine, and there's 2 million children currently out of school. I'm joined here with Nabil from the Yemen Family Care Association, one of the national partners that Oxfam supports. So Nabil, what did you think of today's event? Did it meet your expectations?
Yes, I think it is great actually, because 70% of the need was met during this pledging conference, during the morning and the afternoon sessions. I think yes, but again, as we said to all donors that we met today, that money is not everything. Yeah, we need also some pressure on all parties in Yemen, so they can go to the round table, to the political negotiations to come to an end for this war.
So recently in Yemen we've had a change of the humanitarian coordinator, most senior person within the UN, and we've also had a change in the UN peace envoy. Martin Griffiths was in Sana'a last week. Do you think that there's a new sense of optimism in Yemen now that these positions have been changed?
Well, yes, we met Martin Griffith this morning over breakfast, and we discussed that, and we told him frankly that Yemeni people are hoping from the new leadership of the UN, Liz Grand and Martin Griffiths, that those new people will bring something to the Yemeni people and will help to mitigate the suffering of the Yemeni people. Yemeni people are suffering. You remember that last year we are looking for 2.1 billion, and this year it is 3.1 billion. Yeah, and we hope this year will mark the end of the war, because next year that means it will be like snowball. More money will be in need for coming year if the war continues.
There was a lot of delegates here from different international governments and the international community. Some very, very strong statements about the state of Yemen. It was, I think, heartening to see that the level of information and understanding about Yemen. But what I find very frustrating is that the international community doesn't come to Yemen. There was a delegation a couple of weeks ago with just 3 representatives. Now, if the international community don't come, they don't get to see or feel or really ground their experience about what they're talking about. They don't feel the suffering of the health worker that's not been paid, or the teacher that's trying to teach hungry children, or the people who want to provide clean water but they haven't got the spare parts. So, I mean, what more can the international community be doing? What more can they be doing apart from coming into Yemen? How could they engage more into Yemen?
Of course, we are requesting them to come down to Yemen, to any part of Yemen. We need them to be in the ground. Once they are in the ground, they will understand the situation in Yemen perfectly. And yeah, here they are listening they are hearing the news about Yemen from the media. But if they are in the country, during the meetings that we did this morning and afternoon, coordinating by Oxfam, we said yes, we need. Thank you for your fund pledging, but again, we need you to be in the country. We need you to do the work from the place that we would like to find you in.
So for those who have just joined us, we're at the UN building here in Geneva. We're just come to the end of the pledging event for the Yemen response plan. I'm here with Nabil from the Yemeni Care Association from Yemen. Nabil's here with 3 other representatives from local organisations that work on the ground, providing life-saving support by helping them provide food, hygiene kits, also water for some people, because in Yemen water is very, very scarce. So what do you think you could achieve? How come the message of Yemen is not reaching the international community? I mean, it's taken you how long to get here to this pledging event, and where will you go after you finished in Geneva?
Yes, actually it took from us 3 weeks coming along the way from Sana'a, Aden, Amman, Rome, then to Geneva. Yes, it is like long journey, and we are looking actually after this pledging conference that we will go for European tour. We will go to different cities, so we'll do kind of lobbying for the humanitarian crisis in the country.
You mentioned the humanitarian crisis. Something that we've also been pushing is that we need to move away from just life-saving programs. So like when Oxfam talks about life-saving programs, that's actually handing out cash or providing water. But what we need to do is look at the rehabilitation of the water networks. We need to be looking at, livelihood activities, giving people the skills to go out and return back to their trades. So what would you hope? What was your key message that you'll give to the representatives in France or Brussels or in the EU?
Yes, today we delivered 2 statements to the pledging conference. We said in the 2 statements that yes, life savings interventions are important, but we need now for humanitarian development nexus. Now it is the time, after 3 years of the war, that the programming to be changed. We need development resilience programs.
And just to conclude, so we're here in Geneva, a lot of people talked about peace, and there seems to be a lot of political will. Peace is required. You need all conflicts to the party to come to a peace agreement, have a roadmap to understand what the confidence building steps that come through. But I also feel that if they're not engaged in Yemen, they won't understand the complexities, at the area level where communities and then districts operate, and then the dynamics at the governorate level, and then in the national level, but also the international level, the geopolitics that's involved. So what do you think? What do you think one of those confidence building steps could be? What do you think that the international community or the Yemeni people can do to, build on that sense of optimism?
Well, all those we met today, either donor community or international INGOs, they agree with us that there is no solution for humanitarian problems with humanitarian assistance. It should be a political solution. And this is the message that we hear it from all people. For this conference, many Yemenis they attend, whether they came directly from Geneva or they came from Yemen or coming from other countries in the world. And they said, humanitarian issues cannot be triggered or cannot be solved with humanitarian assistance. It should be political solution.
Thank you. We've been here all day in Geneva. We listened to many different member states give their critique on what they believe is happening in Yemen. I think on behalf of Oxfam and me personally, I'd like to congratulate all the local partners that are working in such difficult conditions. Not only are you working providing support to the Yemeni people, but also you have your family and friends to care for in such a conflict. So I'd just like to wrap this up on behalf of Oxfam. Thank you for watching and listening. Oxfam will continue to push very hard for more funds to come to Yemen. We'll push hard for more accessibility to get better technical assistance and supplies into the country. And finally, we'll always and continue to be committed for pushing for a peaceful resolution for the people of Yemen. Thank you for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.